Hello and welcome everyone to this another video lesson. This is your host, Major Monica. Hope you all are doing great. Let me begin by sharing a good news. And the good news is this channel has achieved views of 1,000 people. Yes, 1,000 people have viewed my channel up till last week, and it's still growing. So it's all thanks to you. Thanks. This is so motivating. This is so inspiring. And this is so encouraging. So let me dedicate this video lesson to you all. And today's topic is motivation. Let's begin by understanding what is motivation. Motivation is a reason to act or behave in a certain way. There are two kinds of motivation, extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. Let's understand these in detail. Extrinsic motivation is where an external force is responsible or reason behind our action or our behavior. And intrinsic motivation is where our internal forces or it's an internal drive to do something or behave in a certain way. Let me explain these with an example. For extrinsic motivation. Now, my mother had been asking me to cook ever since I was in my 12th standard. But I wasn't that much interested in cooking. She tried various ways. She even enrolled me for a cookery course, but still my interest in cooking didn't rise. I was not too keen to cook. For me, cooking was like, I'll do it someday. But then that someday happened. Few months down the line, my mother was sick and she was bedridden for 3 months. Doctor prescribed her medicine. She was told, along with the medicine, to have freshly cooked home meal. Now, for other family members, including myself, we would have survived on restaurant food for months. But for my mother, we started looking for a cook. But then things didn't happen the way we wanted. So we couldn't find a cook, a decent cook. So I decided to start cooking. At first, I made dal, the lentil soup, and gradually I started making vegetable curry, rice, chapatis, and I got interested in cooking. For those 2-3 months, I was doing a good job of it. So what was driving me? It was my mother's health. So my mother's health was an external drive or extrinsic motivation for me to get into cooking. Now, talking about health itself, let me share an incident for intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is where our internal forces are driving us to act or not to act in a certain way, to behave or not to behave in a certain way. Now, my aunt, she was told by her doctors not to have dal at all. She would not have a meal in which a katori or a bowl of dal was not there. She would have lentil with every meal, be it lunch, be it dinner. Now, when the doctor said, you have to stop eating dal, she went all berserk. She started throwing tantrums. She told the doctor, that's impossible, I will not eat, despite our pacifying us, trying to convince her. She would not listen. So ultimately, doctor said, okay, fine. Now, there are two options. Either you live on medicines the whole life and have your little dal, or you abstain from having dal completely. She decided on the former option. But then miracles do happen. And it so happened that she attended a health seminar with few of her friends. She came back home. She told everybody that she is not going to have lentil ever. For 2 years straight, she did not have dal until her reports were normal and doctor said, okay, now you can have lentil but in lesser quantity. But you know what? She stopped having dal even after that. Now she doesn't feel like eating it. So what was driving her? It was her internal drive. It was her internal motivation. It was intrinsic motivation in her case. So, hope you are clear on motivation and you will keep motivating me. You will keep viewing my channel. So, like my video, share my videos, and that's all for me for today. I'll return with another video lesson soon. So, until we meet again, bye.